Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and I'm going to introduce you to the Solitary Knight. I was rating builds on this channel before, so I figured I'd give my own build a go. So, without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it. Let's get it! This build won't have much trouble dealing with the enemies in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. The Solitary Knight's purpose is to break enemy stances and thrust the Greatsword of Solitude plus 10 through the other side of its enemies. This weapon can break stances very easily, which is very effective against the up and coming enemies in the Land of Shadows. So I'm going to use that to its advantage by using the Axe Talisman, which enhances the charge attacks, or holding R2 on the PS controller or RT on the Xbox controller. The Solitary Knight also loves putting massive swords through its enemies, so to make light work of them, I've put the Blade of Mercy Talisman on this build, which raises the attack power after each critical hit. So not only do you get an attack boost for the critical, but it stays with you for a duration of time, which boosts your overall attack power. If you don't have the Blade of Mercy Talisman, then I'll link the video on the top right hand of this video so you can find it. It's in the beginning part of the DLC. And to top this build off, the Solitary Knight has the Wolf Crest Shield plus 25, but if you don't have that shield, then don't worry, you can exchange it for the Eclipse Crest Heater Shield plus 25, which you get from the base game. The Ashes of War on the shield is the Storm Wall, which essentially is just a parry. Plus, this Ash of War only uses 3 FP.
Nice.
Also, I thought it fits the overall theme of this build because of the Solitary Moonslash Ash of War on the sword. In my opinion, if it's your first time in the Land of Shadows, then the shield will be an essential part of this build. You can block really powerful attacks from your opponents, and if you're good at parrying, then the Land of Shadows will be a piece of cake for the most part. Also, the Solitary Moonslash deals incredible damage, and it has a crazy follow-up attack, which both attacks can break enemy stances, so you know what to expect when the enemy drops to his knees. On this level 150 build, I'll go over the last 2 talismans on the Solitude Knight, which are Great Jar's Arsenal to raise maximum equip load, and the 2-headed Turtle Talisman. But if you don't have that, then don't sweat it, just exchange it for the Green Turtle Talisman. Apart from that, the armor set is the incredible looking Solitude set, which you get from defeating your first test in the Land of Shadows. For your buffs, we're going to be using the Exalted Flesh and Boiled Crab. But not gonna lie, Solitary Knight already boasts some great defense stats, so that one is up to you. To make the Solitary Knight's charged attacks more effective, we are using the Spiked Crack Tear and the Stone Barbed Crack Tear in the physic. The only downfall to this build is you can use the Solitary Moonslash Ash of War about 4 times and then your FP is drained, so that's something to mention. Apart from that, in my opinion, this build is really fun to play with. It has decent damage to it, and there is also a lot of variety to this build as well. You can go on the offense and have an offensive playstyle with this build, or you can play a really defensive style and be more conservative. You also have a counter-attack style too as well, by parrying your enemies and getting those critical hits. Either way, this build has everything you need for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. And with that being said, here is all the stats, equipment, talismans, buffs, and physics. So let me know your thoughts and opinions about this build in the comment section. Until next time.